Well, hello. It's good to see you here today at the Smyrna Pioneer Church of God. This is Friday, August the 4th, 11:55. Just wanted to come to you today and share with you just a few minutes. I made a post on my website a couple of days ago, and I said it's a shame that we have more liars in the church than we do the world. It just seems like, whenever I do business with the world, I don't know, it just seems like to me that in the church world, and people that you deal with in the church world are bigger liars than the people that's out in the world that's sinners, and that we should be showing an example. And so I was just thinking about that, and how that I'm not saying just per se in my church, but in a lot of churches. I grew up in church. I'm a fourth generation preacher. I grew up in church. I grew up around people that say that they're Christians, and you find out that they're not. Like one time in West Tennessee, I had a brother in the church that took and I paid him to put ductwork in the church, and we paid for the air conditioning units. We raised money and we paid for the air conditioning units, and a good brother in the church said, well, I'll take my business and we'll put the ductwork in for you, and we'll do it at a cheaper price. I said, all right, it sounds like a deal to me. And then the guy, whenever it come time to put the unit in, we put the unit in. Well, it took 6 months to get the job done, and actually he didn't finish the job, and so I think he got started on it, but he didn't even finish the job, and so we had already paid him and everything. Well, that taught us a lesson: never pay somebody before they get the job done. It don't matter if they call themselves a Christian or not. So it's important that we as Christians uphold what we say that we are. It's important to do and do the best we can. I realize that we get in some circumstances that you can't fulfill your contract, and you just have to call them up and apologize and say, listen, I'm sorry, this is why I can't do this or do that. But that's what's wrong with the world today, is because the world is looking at the Christians, and we're supposed to be the light, and we're supposed to be shining that light. And whenever the world has dealings with the Christian and they turn around and lie, well, that makes us all look bad. So anyway, eventually we had to pay somebody else to come in and put that ductwork in West Tennessee. And then we put a new roof on the church, and I was gone out of town, and the guy that was going to do it, he decided he wasn't going to do it no more, and he was a church member. And so I could just talk about story after story after story out of people that are in church that call themselves Christians, but you find that they're nothing but liars, So anyway, I wanted to bring it to you today. Just because I may post something on Facebook doesn't mean that I'm talking about my church per se. I know I'm talking about all churches in general, because I've been in them, and I know how they operate, and I know how people do. And so anyway, in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 8, it says, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderer and the whoremonger and the sorcerer, and the idolater, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone. This is the second death. Now, I know I don't have much time right here to deal with this, but I do know that here a while back I talked somewhat about lying and how we shouldn't do that. But I wanted to tell you today that if you are a Christian, the main thing for you to do is to show forth that light. Be the light of God, and try your best to do what you say you will do. And I realize that sometimes we get in certain predicaments that we can't do everything that we thought that we should do or can do. But just be a real Christian, and try your best to do what God has called you to do. Don't be numbered with the fearful and the whoremongers and the liars. And if you're a liar, if you lie about something and you continuously to lie, you become an habitual liar, and your conscience will become seared, and you won't even think nothing about it. There's some people that I know that can tell you a bald-faced lie and never blink an eye. Because their conscience is seared with a hot iron. It's just like they just need to understand that it's very important for us as Christians to be what we say we are. I believe in being who I am. If I couldn't live my life, and if I couldn't do what I'm supposed to do, I wouldn't label myself as a Christian. And if I couldn't live what I preach, I wouldn't label myself as a preacher. And some of you preachers, you need to quit preaching if you're not really a preacher. This is not an occupation. This is a calling from God. And some preachers, they're in it just for the money. And some Christians are in it just for the money, what they can get out of it. I remember this one man said, well, I put Christian on my card, on my business card, because I want to get all the Christians work. Meaning he knowed that if he put if he was a Christian on his business card, that all the Christian people would support him. Well, that's a lie within itself. So why don't we just be who we are? Jesus said, either be hot or cold. If you're going to be a Christian, be a Christian. If you're going to be a sinner, bless God, be a sinner. Be who you are. At least people can identify you that's out there. So just remember, if you're preaching just because it's an occupation, you're in bad trouble. We need to be preaching because it's a calling. Or we need to be Christians because we've been called to the fold of God. We've been called to the sheepfold. Praise the Lord. So just wanted to run that by you. I got to get off here. I hope and pray that you have a wonderful and blessed day. And God knows that we got the weekend coming up. And I can't wait to see what God's going to do this weekend. I know He's an awesome God. So be sure, don't be numbered with the whoremongers and the adulteresses and the fearful and the unbelieving. Because if you're a liar, if you're lying about everything, even if you try to come up with a story, even if you're telling a story and you stretch that story and it's a lie, it's a lie. A lie is a lie. So don't be numbered with those people that one of these days are going to be judged. God bless you. I hope and pray that you have a wonderful day. God bless.